A short time ago, President Trump spoke about the crash in his first appearance in the White House briefing room since being sworn in for a second term. Without evidence, he shifted blame to his two Democratic predecessors, as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
We must have only the highest standards for those who work in our aviation system. I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. And then when I left office and Biden took over, he changed them back to lower than ever before.
For more, let's bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, the president slammed the Obama and Biden administrations. He seemed to insinuate they loosened standards for air traffic controllers and FAA employees in the name of DEI. He also slammed former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. What did he say, and is there currently any evidence to support that standards have gone down and may have contributed to this?
There isn't any indication, Lindsay, that the standards have changed markedly. In fact, sources have told me that the standards for air traffic controllers have always been quite high and that they need to go through rigorous mental and physical testing to get the job in the first place. And so we're still looking into what the president might have been referring to when he talked about those changes in standards. But more broadly, what I think stood out to a lot of reporters in the room was that on one hand, the president was saying that he still doesn't know what led to this particular crash, and then at the same time saying that DEI was somehow to blame. What we know so far, and I know you've been discussing it on the show, is that according to the military, the Black Hawk pilots were actually quite experienced. And American Airlines says that the pilots involved in the crash were experienced as well. One had 6 years with the airline. The other had nearly 2 years with the airline. We don't know much about the air traffic controllers involved, but I can tell you that because Reagan National has such a complicated approach, as you know, we've been discussing over the past 12 hours or so, the air traffic controllers who are chosen for Reagan National tend to be quite experienced as well. So it's unclear at this point where the president is getting the information that he is using to describe this as somehow a failure related to DEI. We pressed him repeatedly about that today, but he said that the reason he knows it is because he's a smart person and not because of any particular information that he was willing to share.
Right, saying he has common sense. Nancy, Sean Duffy is in his second day as Transportation Secretary. He reiterated this shouldn't have happened. He also doubled down on the president's comments that we can only have the best and brightest. The president also named a new acting administrator of the FAA. What will both of their roles be in this?
Well, they're going to have to grapple with some very difficult decisions in the near term. This will obviously reignite questions, Lindsay, about congestion at Reagan National Airport. It's so uniquely situated, so close to downtown D.C., so close to multiple military bases where helicopters take off and land. And through the years, there has always been a major fight on Capitol Hill between members of Congress who want more flights to go into Reagan National because it's so convenient for them to be able to get to and from their home districts if they just cross the river from the Capitol and quickly get to Reagan National. And the lawmakers from Virginia, where Reagan National is located, who say it's too busy already, it's difficult to control the flow of aircraft, and they don't want to see it get any more congested. And so that is something that the FAA and the Secretary of Transportation are certainly going to be dealing with in the coming weeks and months.
Okay, Nancy Cordes, thank you.